Hey guys, welcome back to another video. As you guys can see, I finally put up my sign. I have had this sign in my house for the last 2 weeks and I have yet to put it up. So I'm so happy that I kind of figured out where I wanted it to go. I might move it around. I'm not sure if I want it right here, but for now, this will do. If you guys are new to my channel, welcome. I'm Noelia and I talk about all things curly, beauty, and a little bit of lifestyle. So for today's video, I've actually been getting a few questions, especially lately, of people asking me, how do you know what to do for your curly hair routine? How to build a curly hair routine? What should you look for? What should you do? And I'm here to give you some type of guidance and you can customize it and make it your own based on what your hair needs. So if you guys are interested in seeing that, do not forget to subscribe to my channel and turn on the alerts so you know when I post my next video. I'll also go ahead and drop my social handles so you guys could follow me on there as well. I post a ton of curly content, so go check me out. But without further ado, let's get right into this video. So a few of you guys have been asking me, what should I be doing for my curly hair routine? What should it entail? All of that. Is it even important to have a curly hair routine? So building a curly hair routine is gonna help you build structure for your hair. Now, when I have a routine and I know exactly what I wanna do, it's very rare that I will skip a step because I have a routine. Like I have to go by this routine to get this result. So for me, I'm pretty standard when it comes to my routine. Of course, there are weeks where I am gonna be adding a protein treatment and that's not pretty often. It just happens maybe every 6 to 8 weeks from time to time. So it's super important to have a routine so you don't skip any steps and you can give your hair what it needs when it needs it. So I'm a firm believer that the moisture that you have in your hair starts from the beginning. So I am somebody who believes in using very moisturizing shampoos, conditioners, deep conditioners, all of that throughout my wash day routine because my hair is just very dry. It tends to be more dry, especially in these colder months. So I look for shampoos that give my curls moisture and it does not leave it feeling stripped. But before we get into shampooing, if your hair is the type of hair that tends to tangle up very easy, if you find that your detangling process takes you way longer than it should, then I highly recommend possibly doing a pre-poo treatment before shampooing. Pre-poo treatment is essentially a conditioning treatment before you actually shampoo your hair. This helps so that the shampoo is actually not as aggressive on your hair and it's kind of more of a gentle process. So some examples of pre-poos you can do are oil mixes. You can do a conditioner oil mix. You can just use one oil. I would say leave it in your hair for about 30 minutes just to give it time to like loosen up the knots and work its way through your hair. So 30 minutes is typically what I would do if and when I do pre-poo. The times that I do pre-poo, which is kind of rare, so if I do a protective style, like say I have like knotless braids, box braids, I typically like to do a pre-poo treatment because my hair tends to be a hot mess when I take out my braids and I feel like my hair needs a ton of moisture because I do moisturize my hair when it's in a protective style, but it's not the same when you're not actually adding products to your hair. I just don't feel like it actually works the same way. So I find it important to do a pre-poo treatment before shampooing. So like I said, if you're somebody who struggles with your hair tangling up very easy, your wash day process is just difficult and shampooing makes your hair more tangled, I do highly recommend adding a pre-poo treatment to your routine. So if you're one of those people, your first step would be pre-pooing. And for the next step, I am a firm believer on shampooing your hair. I do think it's important to cleanse your hair at least once a week. I talk about this all the time. I know I sound like a broken record, but sometimes I feel like it's important to keep reiterating things so you know how important it really is. So shampooing at least once a week is crucial. I was somebody who was kind of afraid of shampooing. Like back in the day when I started my natural hair journey, which wasn't that long ago, but when I started my natural hair journey, I remember hearing that shampoo was kind of our enemy and that we didn't want to use shampoo as often because it tended to dry out our hair and it caused more breakage and all of that. So that is not even the case. Shampoo is not your enemy. What is your enemy is the ingredients in those shampoos. So if you're using a shampoo that has harmful ingredients like sulfates and parabens, and there's an abundance of ingredients that you should not find in your shampoos that tend to often be in shampoos. If you are using a clean shampoo, that shouldn't be a problem. For me, what I've learned is that my hair likes to be shampooed. I tend to use very thick products. As you guys have seen in the past, I love to use thick gels like the Eco Styler gel, the Wetline Extreme gel, and if I find a thick gel, I'm probably gonna get my hands on it because I just love a thick gel. My hair just tends to need that type of hold, you know what I mean? So I just tend to constantly have product buildup because adding thick products in your hair is gonna build up. So For me, it's very, very important to shampoo my hair. I don't have any excuse. Like, I have to shampoo my hair. I know that some people don't have to shampoo their hair. Maybe they use lighter products and they don't tend to have as much buildup, and maybe shampooing isn't as great for them. Regardless, I think once a week is still important, no matter what type of hair type you have. Standard, I would say, is once a week. Highly recommend for you to cleanse your hair. I do have a video of my favorite shampoos. I will go ahead and link some down below as well, just so you guys can get an idea of what shampoos to look for and what has worked for me. So far, if you're somebody who needed a pre-poo, so far we have pre-pooing and shampooing. So the next step I would highly recommend is conditioning. I think conditioning is super duper important. I know there are people who just skip this step and go right into deep conditioning, but if you have thick, coarse hair and it's sometimes you just need that extra moisture, for me, I find it very, very important to condition my hair prior to deep conditioning. I like to use my conditioning routine to just work the product through and kind of just break up the knots with my hands and just to detangle my hair before actually adding the deep conditioner to my hair. So for me, I find it very, very important to add a conditioner. So when it comes to looking for conditioners, I love to look for conditioners that give my hair lots of slip, that help me pretty much finger detangle in the process versus having to get too crazy with having to work too much product into my hair. Some that I am absolutely obsessed with are the Trader Joe's Tea Tree Tingle conditioner. That just works through my hair like no other. I'm obsessed with the Mizani conditioner. I'm gonna go ahead and link these down below, but the Mizani conditioner just like melts my knots away. It's just amazing. So the next and probably one of the most important steps to moisture in your wash and go routine is deep conditioning. So far, if you do pre-poo, it would be pre-pooing, shampooing, conditioning, and deep conditioning. Now you can also be the shampooing, conditioning, and deep conditioning. This is typically me. I don't typically pre-poo, but I have, and if needed, I will. So when it comes to deep conditioning, I am a firm believer that you should deep condition every wash day. Whenever you decide to shampoo your hair or cleanse your hair in any way, follow up with a deep conditioner. I just find that when you cleanse your hair, it still strips your hair to an extent. It strips your hair a little bit because of course you're cleansing your hair. So you need to bring that moisture back. And for me, I find that it's crucial to add a deep conditioner to every routine. I feel like that really, really helps me during my natural hair journey to retain moisture, because we all know transitioning hair is just very dry and it has dry patches and it's just not typically cooperative. So I find that deep conditioning definitely changed the texture and how my hair actually retains moisture. So I find it super duper crucial to add a deep conditioning routine. I'm not even gonna add that as a just in case. You need to deep condition every time you cleanse your hair. That's just my opinion. It's important. So some deep conditioners that I highly recommend are the Mielle Rosemary and Mint Deep Conditioner. You guys know I've been talking about it for so long. The Miche Indulge Deep Conditioner. I'm gonna do a whole video on that very soon so you guys can see my thoughts in live time and you guys can see how it works in my hair too, because I'm obsessed. I do love the Not Your Mother's Natural, the matcha green tea mask. That one is super bomb. I love the Mizani mask. Maybe I'll do an updated deep conditioners video because I have been discovering some gems that they're bomb. And if you are low porosity like me, you guys hear me talk about this all the time, adding heat to your deep conditioning routine will be a game changer. You guys know if you have low porosity hair, your cuticles are tightly bound. So in order for moisture to make its way through, you need heat to allow the cuticles to open up and be receptive to moisture. So don't forget to add that heat during your deep conditioning routine. I'm not saying go add a blow dryer directly to your head. No, what I'm saying is use a plastic cap, sit under a hooded dryer, use a heated cap. You can solely just wear a plastic cap, walk around the house, and the heat from your scalp will actually just work. You can just, that was my speaker that just turned off. You can just go ahead and add a plastic cap to your head and just allow the heat from your head to just work the product through. So far, if you are pre-pooing, you shampoo, condition, and deep condition. So we're on 4 steps. Or you can just be like me, shampoo, condition, and deep condition. So this is the few steps that we have so far for building our routine. And the next step is styling. So styling to me is, it's all dependent on what your hair needs and what your hair works best with. This is gonna be that fun game of trial and error. When I was going through my natural hair journey, I wasted so much money on products. Like, I don't wanna say wasted, because I've found ways to repurpose certain products. It's very important to do. When you do buy a product, don't instantly assume like it's completely canceled. try to see if maybe you can give it away, or maybe you can use it for something else. Maybe you can use it as a co-wash, or you can use it as a pre-poo. So just look at the products that you have, see in what way it could work, and then go from there. I don't necessarily always cancel. Sometimes they're just not styling material, but they can work for other things. So for me, what works, I can do a leave-in, a styler, and a gel, or I could just do a styler and a gel, or a leave-in and a gel, and that works for me. I just need to follow up all of my routines with a gel. There is no way I can close a routine that's gonna last me long without some type of gel, because I feel like that's what seals the products into my hair. Now, I know that's not the case for everyone, and a lot of people just solely like to style with stylers or just creams, and that's 1000% okay. When it comes to styling, I don't have a strict regimen, like a leave-in, a cream, a gel, an oil. Like, I don't have a strict routine. It just all depends on how products work in my hair, because sometimes I've used stylers that do not require a leave-in. Sometimes I've used a styler that, okay, maybe I need a little primer before I actually apply the rest of the products to my hair, so I'll use a leave-in. So it's all dependent on how your hair feels, how products work in your hair. So a standard would be, in my opinion, a leave-in, a styler, and a gel. And your gel could be a styler. So I would say a leave-in, a cream, and a gel. That's a typical standard. Or you can do a leave-in and a gel, a leave-in and a cream. There's just so many different varieties that you can choose from when it comes to building your routine. So for me, for example, this is, which is so crazy, this is day 4 hair. I have not refreshed it. This is from my Mielle routine. If you guys did not see that, go back and look, because this is probably one of the most moisturizing routines I've ever done before. So this is day 5, hella definition, and I've gone to the gym twice. I mean, the front pieces are a little, you know, they're a little crazy, but that's why I just tuck them behind my ear and just keep it moving. So for example, for that routine, I just used the Mielle styler, which was the Mielle Rosemary and Mint Daily Styling Cream, and the Wetline Extreme Gel. So those were my 2 stylers for that routine, and my hair loved it. So as long as the cream or the styler that you're using prior to using a gel is moisturizing, then you should be set. But again, it's just typically what works best for your hair, how you prefer your hair to end up once you're done styling. Some people love the more frizzy look. Some people love the more effortless. And then there are some people who prefer to have more definition or prefer to have more volume. So it's all dependent on what you prefer and what works best for your hair. So this part right here, I'll leave it to you guys. This is just essentially whatever you feel works best. So far what we have. So if your hair tends to tangle up easy and you feel like you need that added moisture before shampooing, I have a pre-poo, shampoo, condition, deep condition, and styler. So that's a 5-step routine. Sounds super crazy, but it's really not that bad, especially when you find products that work best for you and you already have a routine going. The only way to have a routine going is to try different products, do the whole trial and error thing. I know it kind of sucks sometimes, but honestly, that's the only way that you can find what works for you, or find different influencers or curly girls that you resonate with and you're just like, that hair is very similar to mine. But just keep in mind that what works for them won't always work for you, because you can't really see and feel the person's hair to really see if it's that similar to you. A photo can only tell you so much. So if you are skipping the pre-poo, we have a shampoo, condition, deep condition, and styling routine. So that's a 4-step routine. Again, the styling routine can branch off into 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever steps you want to add to it. But that's just a standard base. If you know, oh, okay, I have to cleanse, I have to condition, I have to deep condition, and I have to style. That's it. Then you'll know, okay, now I have a routine. It's so important to build that routine so that way your hair can get everything it needs when it needs it, and that way you don't skip any steps, because I know a lot of people who actually skip deep conditioning, and that just should not be happening. It's such an important step to restoring the health of your hair that I just feel like people underestimate the importance of deep conditioning, and you hear us curlies talking about it all the time. It is actually so important, so important. When you have a routine, I feel like it's harder to break it when you're just like, okay, this is how my hair turns out looking when I do all of this. And like I said, your hair is as moisturized as you start it. So I highly recommend starting with super moisturizing products from the beginning. So starting with a moisturizing shampoo, conditioner, deep conditioner, all of that, because I find that that's what works best for my hair. And in the past, I'd use things that would strip my hair, and I'm like, nah, I got this. This conditioner will bring the moisture back. And I'm like, wait, my hair doesn't like that. Like, my hair does not like that. My hair likes to be moisturized from the beginning, from step 1. So keep that in mind when building your curly hair routine. I'm more than happy to answer any questions you guys have, so feel free to comment them down below. That's all for today's video. I hope I gave you guys a little idea on what your routine should look like if and when you do build your own curly hair routine. Again, routine is very, very important, and that allows you to just stay consistent. When you have a consistent routine and you're patient, you will see change in your hair, I promise you. It's just a matter of being regimented, being consistent, and just being patient, and I promise you will see all the change you're looking for as long as you're patient and you cut off that heat damage. But yeah guys, that is all for today's video. I hope you guys liked it. If you did, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.